Baptist has never played here before. They've never played Indiana before. Their coach was an assistant at Arkansas under Nolan Richardson, so he has some Final Four experience in his resume.
HBU wins the tip. Certainly that matchup, Ibarra and Bryant down low to keep your eye on Ibarra, trying to get possession early down low, and it's stripped away. And a travel called on James Blackman, got tied up with one of his own players, but a travel, and it's going the other way. There's that first turnover just 19 seconds into the game.
Best player with the basketball right here, Colter Lasher for HBU Huskies. He can shoot it from the perimeter at 6'7".
7 points in his last game, just 2 for 10 against St. Peter's in a win for HBU last time out. That's revealed Chukwu Jekwu. Very good slicer and dicer from the perimeter.
Yeah, he's kind of a small power forward type, 6'3". He has drawn the assignment of guarding James Blackman, leading scorer for Indiana.
Not going to be an easy task for Chukwu Jekwu today. Newkirk finds Bryant. He got fronted and fouled by Ibarra. And Bryant a little shaken up as he gets to his feet.
Lots of accolades for Thomas Bryant last year as a freshman. All freshmen in the Big Ten Conference right here gets knocked down. When you take a hit on the thigh like that, you know, it can get to be problematic over the course of time, and hopefully that's not going to be the case with him here.
6'10", 255. That thigh's taking a lot of pressure as Blackman misfires on his first shot. Offensive rebound, put back no by Newkirk.
Houston Baptist, I'm sorry, Jeff, went zone on the inbounds play. They're likely to do that the entire game, and as a result, Indiana at practice today was working on scoring on that inbounds play.
There's the first three-ball attempt by HBU. It's off the mark by Colter Lasher. Another rebound by Bryant. You can tell that he's favoring that right hip a little bit. Bryant from three. A little short. And Bryant looking over at Tom Crean. He wants to hang in there. And a walk. Braxton Bonds. Too many steps on the drive.
Bonds was a highly recruited player, went to Tennessee out of high school, transferred out of there, went to junior college, and now in his first year here. He has some ability.
Nice bloodlines, too. Nephew of Barry Bonds. He was an okay hitter back in his day.
I knew you were going to bring baseball up at some point.
Tough not to. Here comes Blackman. Going through 4 defenders. And HBU comes away with a loose ball.
So far, quality shots for the Hoosiers, nothing going down.
Bonds gave it up. Good look from 3 and off the heel from Asa Cantwell. Blackman, another 3-ball. And Indiana ice cold to start this ball game. Fast break, Chukwu Jekwu, no, rebounded. That time by Robert Johnson, and here come the Hoosiers again.
Pace of the game favors Indiana, but both teams like to run.
Indiana, one of the fastest teams out there. Good ball fake, and the shot, nothing but twine from Johnson.
63rd start for Robert. More than any other player on IU's team. He's been around, he's played with Yogi Ferrell, he's playing with Blackman. He is a great blend guy. Very skilled, terrific defender.
You talked to Tom Crean about Robert Johnson. He just continues to get better each and every year. And this year, especially important, no Yogi Ferrell to play next to him. Foul on the drive, that time by Blackman.
Pump fake. Get the man off his feet. One little dribble in the pull-up jumper. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Robert.
It's a clinic from the junior.
Good numbers, 55% from the field this year. Average nearly 13.
Chukwu Jekwu, no, Bryant out chumps Cody Stetler off the bench. Blackman again, he'll keep shooting until one falls.
That one was very, very short.
It's one of those rhythm shooters. That's a tough play, layup no. And Lasher thought he got fouled. Indiana going the other way, then a turnover, and no, instead it's going to stay with Indiana.
Huskies getting, I'm sorry, Jeff, Huskies getting the ball to the rim the last 3 possessions and coming up with nothing. Indiana challenged. Bryant got his hand up on both of those layup shots.
Indiana just 1 for 7 from the field so far. HBU not much better, 1 out of 6. And they've had good looks, both teams. Good ball movement. And that three is knocked down by Jawan Morgan.
12 for 12 coming into the game. Knocks that one down from the perimeter. Thing about Morgan is his leadership skills have improved a great deal since last season. Only a sophomore.
We welcome everybody that just finished up Michigan State's victory over Tennessee Tech. Along with Bob Wenzel, Jeff Levering with you from Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana. Indiana's made their last couple of shots from the floor after being called to start. And there's another good look by Johnson, but a little short.
They're coming up short on their threes. They're 0 for, they're only 1 3 in the game so far, and they are freely shooting them. Boy, they get the ball from the rebound past half court in a hurry, don't they?
And these guards, because they have the ability to rebound so well, that pace is just so quick.
Yeah, between Newkirk and Johnson and Blackman, they average nearly 15 rebounds a game. That's great stuff. Blackman averages 7 himself.
Blackman trying to get his offense going, and there was a foul away from the basketball. A little bit of a cold start so far for Indiana, but they've got a 1-point lead on their home floor against HBU. Get himself going. He's a tough guard matchup for this Indiana defense. And again, no OG Anunoby. And they go inside. Morgan.
What
Perfect.
a pass by Davis. Now this is a 6'10 freshman, backup. Morgan cuts to the basket. He not only sees him, but delivers. That's not easy for a young post player.
Deron Davis coming off 14 points in just 16 minutes against Southeast Missouri State.
Yeah, and he scored 14 in the game before that as well. A great, great backup to Thomas Bryant.
Crazy to think he's coming off the bench. He'd be a starter almost everywhere else in the country.
Good point.
Good save and a really nice close by Morgan, but a better shot by Lasher.
Lasher's their leading scorer. 13 a game. Colter Lasher from Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. How about that one? You know, that book of basketball players from Alaska is very, very short. There are not a lot of pages in that book.
Colter Lasher having himself a really good season, 34% from 3. Blackman for Indiana trying to get his offense going. 7 to shoot. There's another 3. Finally finds the bottom.
Well, he clearly has the green light, right? I mean, he's their leading scorer, averaging 17 a game, shooting 40% from downtown. Indiana
up by 3. Open man for 3, and it rattles in and out. Rebound by Bonds. Good follow.
Bond's not much of a scorer, but I'll tell you, he's a heady player. Point guard on this team, keeps things running smoothly.
He's got a tough defensive assignment today against Johnson down low. They go inside, that's Davis, and he missed the bunny.
Little off balance there, huh?
Had position down low, just couldn't finish it out. HBU looking for the lead. Jalen Weber, the freshman, has played quality minutes this year. And another shot by Lasher finds the bottom. Colter Lasher taking charge in this game offensively.
HBU picked 5th in the middle of the Southland Conference this year. Stephen F. Austin has been their main team the last couple of years, winning games in the NCAA tournament.
And a turnover, ferocious defense by the Huskies so far. Here we see Robert Johnson here a couple of moments ago. This is some 3D replay technology. It's being provided to us from the Mark Cuban Center for Sports Media and Technology here at IU. 28 cameras surrounding Assembly Hall. It's like you're playing a video game within the real life game.
That was a pretty cool look, wasn't it? I love that. Thank you, Mr. Cuban, for your donation. And how about the $40 million that Simon Scott donated to the renovation of Assembly Hall?
Ibarra fouled as he was going up for the rebound. Deron Davis got him from behind. We were talking about these 3D replay technology that they've got here at Assembly Hall. Those things that look like bird nests, those are actually cameras.
Wow.
Really fancy technology they're using here. Ibarra down low, fouled again by Davis. He picks up 2 personals within the span of about 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with young big men. You know, you come in, you play in high school, and you kind of clog the middle, and you block everything, and now you go in against teams that have players as big as you. He's got to learn how to go straight up instead of putting his arms forward in any particular way. Ibarra's a solid player, you know, 6'11", 270.
Double-double his last ball game, and he was an all-Southland Conference player last year as a sophomore, and he missed his last 11 games. Goes to show what a great season he had.
They were 8-0 in conference until he was injured, and they finished in the middle of the pack. So he is a key contributor for this team.
You know, the Huskies are just not going to face anybody in the Southland that has that kind of size that Ibarra has once conference play gets in.
Woo, that is some speed right there.
There's a 3, and Curtis Jones, the freshman, off the bench.
His claim to fame so far this year, 15 against Kansas. Killed Kansas in the overtime. He can shoot it.
Nice debut to your college career. Ibarra couldn't get it. Bryant with another rebound. If you can put that on your resume, first collegiate game ever, and you go for 15 against the #3 team of the country.
That's pretty good stuff.
No doubt about it. There's another 3, and finally they're starting to fall for IU.
Robert Johnson, Mr. Experience for this team. Very stoic approach, too. Doesn't really get too excited during the games. Keeps his intensity level up. Guards the best guy on the other team, and there he is defending.
Great steal up ahead, and a flush by Newkirk. Transition offense by Indiana.
Well, they have, over the last 5 years, led the Big Ten Conference in scoring and field goal percentage and three-point percentage, and you can see why. They play with abandon.
Jeku cut off by Johnson. They swing it back around with 9 to shoot. Good move by Weber, left hand, tough shot, no. Ibarra. No tip back, and Bryant Scales. Here we go again. And fouled. Jeku hustling back to foul Curtis Jones. Here come the Hoosiers.
Well, the crowd wants an intentional, but check out this sequence. Robert Johnson creates, McRoberts delivers, and at the other end of the dunk, this is typical IU basketball. They love the break.
Yeah. Perfect day for sweatpants. No doubt about it.
This kid can shoot it. I mean, you watch his form on his free throw. His elbow's under the ball. He snaps his wrist beautifully. Curtis Jones is a player. He went to Huntington Prep where Thomas Bryant went, and they were teammates for a bit. He is going to be a big-time player here, and this year is going to contribute a lot off the bench as a 2-guard.
Better believe Thomas gave a pretty good report card to Tom Crean when that recruiting trip happened.
Amen.
Alex Fountain on the floor for the first time for HBU. That's another pure shooter. You can only tell because of his flashy shoes. He's got the ball right now. Here's Bonds, tough crossover, and nearly ripped away. It's out of bounds, and it's going to go to Indiana.
Freddie McSwain in the game right now also, number 21 with the high hair right there. Built like a football player. He's a junior college player. Most of our freshmen when they come, but he's a JC guy who they're hoping can add some beef.
A guy who's starting to get a feel for the game of basketball. He's only been playing it for a couple of years. Tough look by Newkirk and a blocking foul.
Newkirk's a transfer from Pittsburgh, and he adds a lot to this team. I mean, they lose Yogi Ferrell, who was an All-American, and watch the speed here. He gets a slight screen from Bryant and goes all the way to the basket. That's his best thing, driving hard and creating.
Doesn't turn over the basketball very often either. Assist to turnover ratio, very good. This is the first free throw, and some subs coming in for Indiana. And that was the big question coming in. Who was going to replace Yogi? And not that you can replace him, but you can certainly have some contributions from a number of players.
Yeah, and Jones is one, and the other guy is going to be Devontae Green, who just came in number 11 at the point guard. He's not as much of a scorer as Jones, but he plays the point. So Tom Green liberally substituting here early in the game, getting guys to get a sweat.
Just under the 10-minute mark here in the first half. Indiana up by 9 points. They were ice cold to start, but they have gotten hot since about the 16-minute mark. Trying to go around the screen. That's Cantwell. Got it swatted away into the head of Green, and then a turnover on the other end.
Credit Morgan with the block.
Bryant with a block on the other end. Out to Newkirk. Another fast break. Going right into the defender goes Freddie McSwain, and the blocking foul picked up.
You want some action while you're sitting on your couch in your sweatpants? Check this out. The block by Bryant and the save behind his back. Ball goes up the court quickly. McSwain gets to go to the free throw line. There were 2 blocks right before Bryant's block. Juwan Morgan had one also.
Swatted it right off of his teammate's nose, and you can see Devontae Green kind of behind the three-point arc, reaching at his nose a little bit. He might have gotten that ball blocked in his own face from his teammate.
How about Morgan? He's now 14 for 14. Hasn't missed a shot in 3 games, and there's Green. Long Island, North Babylon, went to Long Island Lutheran High School.
Good bloodlines in his family, too. You got to imagine what the dinner table was like with him and his brother. Danny Green, NBA champion with the Spurs. Cantwell's got some range, and Green trying to D him up.
A lot of action inside between Ibarra and Bryant.
Chukwu got it knocked away by Bryant. Here come the Hoosiers. Newkirk, 1-on-3, and he missed, and it's going to be a foul. They'll pick up Cantwell on another blocking foul. And Bryant and the blocks just keep on coming.
Check this out now. He doesn't leave his feet here, and he goes straight up. When you have, it's the principle of verticality, as we hear so much about. If you press your hands forward, you're going to get the foul called. He goes straight up with his arms and cleanly blocks. He's got a couple of blocks in the last 2 possessions. I love Bryant's enthusiasm. You don't see 6'10" guys with that kind of, he was dancing before the game. He's very outward in his emotions during the game, which I think is a great thing. He's improved a lot since last year as well.
Led the team onto the floor here today, and as soon as he made that block, he's looking at the bench going, yeah, I got a piece of that. Put it in the score sheet.
He wants the statisticians to know, huh?
HBU trying to get their offense picked up again. They went through a nice little stretch where they took the lead on Indiana. But the Hoosiers now on a 14-0 run. And that's the man. Lasher's going to have to do it.
Yeah, he's got game for sure. That fadeaway jumper right there. Morgan defended him well.
Nice move by Bryant. Wide open 3. And an offensive rebound by Indiana. Poked away. And HBU comes away with a loose ball. Huskies are going to hustle all day long. Bonds with a nice move, but an offensive foul on a bad screen. That's the reason why he was wide open going into the paint.
That's exactly right. Braxton Bonds has some quickness, but he's being defended by quick players in this one. Ron Cottrell, assistant at Arkansas. He has been at this school for 26 years. That's older than you are, isn't it?
No.
Not quite? Okay.
Almost, really close.
Almost. There are not a lot of college coaches that have been in one place that long. Boeheim comes to mind, 40 years at Syracuse. Coach K, 37 at Duke, but other than that, he's up there with that.
Good move inside by Johnson. And Ron Cottrell, the 8th longest tenured coach in the NCAA.
There you go, 8th. And they went from NAIA to Division I, too, so that's a difficult transition.
Spent some time as the AD as well, wearing a couple of hats. An air ball there by Cantwell. Indiana, look at that tempo just being pushed. Johnson with a 3, no. Bryant, offensive rebound, put back, no. He's going to the line.
Hard to block a
pace.
6'10" guy out when he runs from rim to rim on the fast break. Shooting threes is a good thing in transition.
Get going a little bit. He's just 1 for 5 from the floor. And he's made just 1 3-pointer. Bryant makes his first free throw. Thomas Bryant trying to convert his second free throw. And he does. And the lead, the biggest of the game for Indiana at 14 points.
Interesting, they start with a situation where they're missing threes all over the place, but they keep on keeping on, and the intensity level of the defense has been very good. Their defense against Carolina was through the roof good, holding the Tar Heels to 67.
Lasher nearly able to get that one to go down. Now they're blocked by Bryant. And here come the Hoosiers again. Nice spin move. Find the open man. Johnson for 3. A little short. And Chukwujeku comes away with the rebound. HBU trying to climb back into it with Lasher. It's been Lasher and Chukwujeku that have done everything for the Huskies so far. 11 of the 14 points.
Interesting. Notice the defense of the Hoosiers. They have really got their hands up when guys catch it on the perimeter. They switch when necessary. They don't when it's not necessary. And they got rim protection. How about that one?
Thomas Bryant, certainly intimidating presence in that paint. And come Big Ten play, he's just going to be a load to deal with.
Well, there he is going up over the rim.
Get it inside, Bonds, and Bryant again. There's nobody on the floor for HBU that's going to be able to even contend in the paint with him right now. Good look by Blackman. He's 2 for his last 2.
Back on the track for Mr. Blackman. Missed all of last year. That was a shame that he was out. They lost in the Sweet 16. Beat Kentucky and Chattanooga, and then they lost to Carolina, which they've avenged, obviously, this year. Nobody with 2 better wins than the Hoosiers this year, beating Kansas and Carolina. If the tournament started today, they'd be a 1 seed.
There is no doubt about that. Alex Fountain finally breaks the drought for HBU. Their strength of schedule, and it's Tom Crean's kind of mantra of, I'll go play anybody at any time, any place.
He'd like to play Kentucky here, but Calipari's not wanting that.
Well, 5 years ago today, Kentucky was here, and I think that's what's on Calipari's mind. That's when they were the #1 team in the country. Blackman kicks it out. Another extra pass by McRoberts. And Twine again by Green. HBU just trying to get a couple of buckets here in a row and a stop on defense. That's going to be a tall task against the now white-hot Hoosiers. Bonds with a nice drive.
Big mistake by Blackman right there. He looked one way instead of concentrating. When your guy has the ball, you can't look anywhere but at him.
Blackman with a good drive, but a little too strong. Up ahead go the Huskies. Chukwujeku finishes.
Nice pass out by Bonds. Beautiful.
You know he's going to have good eyesight. Those family ties, the baseball. Bryant down low, he's got the advantage, and he'll go to the line. Try and add to the 14-point lead.
They're getting the ball up the court quickly, as is their want. They're getting the ball inside to Bryant. When he posts and he's open, they get it to him. 4 guys on the perimeter, 1 inside is a formula for success for Tom Crean. You talk about offensive basketball. Man, they are hard to guard.
Brought that mentality from Marquette, was there for 9 years. He's in his 9th season here at Indiana. Winning better than 52% of his games.
Well, he took over a program that was not in good shape, and the first year or two had a difficult time. His percentage the last 5 years has been through the roof good. Last year, 15-3, first in the conference, 27-8 overall. Players develop when they come here. They get better. The intensity level in practice is very, very good. Even at the shoot-around today when we were there. I mean, the shooting drills are just, everybody's into it all times.
Deep three, no. What a follow by Fountain. Alex Fountain.
Got some hops, huh?
It's the shoes. Look at those kicks. Blackman. And there's Jones. Davis all over the offensive glass.
Davis was off balance there. That's twice in this game where he's gone up in the air and landed with his feet too close together. And when he gets bumped, he gets off balance. Got to land a little bit wider base.
Another turnover. Indiana going the other way. Blackman. Davis trying. Blackman had it land in his lap. And he converts with a three.
Yeah, let's miss the layup and shoot the three instead. How about that?
Going for style points.
No smile on his face, neither. Very serious dude.
Well, Blackman knows going into his junior year after the ACL injury last year, kind of a lost season for him after he got off to a great start.
Yeah, what a shame that was.
Tough move inside and off the hands of McRoberts, out of bounds. Going to Houston Baptist, and here comes James Blackman.
For donating the money to have this great technology here, and this is the first time this is being used to our knowledge, and glad to have it for you.
Chukwu misses, and here come the Hoosiers again. HBU getting back on defense. Mark Cuban, Center for Sports Media and Technology. Blackman, another three, finally off the mark, ending his hot streak. Foul on Indiana going to HBU. There's free D replays, 28 cameras, 360 degrees all the way around Assembly Hall. Pretty incredible stuff.
Blackman 3 for 7, and those cameras, as you pointed out, are catching all of the makes and the misses. And what a great, great thing.
40 million bucks. Upgraded video boards here. You can see people sweating in their seats. Make sure you stick around. Nice move by Bonds. Coming up at the half, it's the State Farm halftime report. Lisa Byington and Sean Morris standing by as Braxton Bonds got some serious quickness.
Backdoor play. Pete Carrill of Princeton would be proud of this. One of the interesting stats so far in this game, Jeff, is Indiana has only turned the ball over 3 times. They're averaging 17, 18 a game, so way, way under their norm. And they get it up so quick and shoot it so fast, there's not a lot of opportunity to turn it over.
Think about how that offense started. First couple of possessions, 2 turnovers. They've only had 1 in the last 18 minutes or so.
We should mention OG Anunoby not playing. Jones gets hit on a 3. And Anunoby obviously is a very big part. He's an All-American level player. And we watched him during practice, and he was moving just fine. So I think they're being very cautious. Those are his numbers on the year, as you can see, terrific. And he's a great defensive player as well. So they've got another week before they play Butler in the game that you just mentioned next week. So I'm sure that he's going to be practicing full speed. When a guy gets an ankle injury, you're concerned about his cardio. And he was running today, so his ankle seems to be pretty good.
Just imagine what this team is going to be like when he is available on a full-time basis, too. I mean, they are just dominant right now and number 9 in the country. And then they get a potential All-American.
Yeah. I mean, they play a lot of players because of the pace in which they play. So getting him back is key for their run. Obviously, they want to go deep into the Big Ten schedule and the NCAA tournament, and he's a key guy for that. Purdue, of course, and Wisconsin, they're the 2 teams that are ranked right now in the Big Ten Conference. And hard luck for Michigan State with Miles Bridges having been out and, some tough start to the season. But Michigan State will bounce back, you can be sure of that. So those teams right now are doing the best. We got some teams that were at the bottom of the league last year who are doing much, much better. You know, Rutgers has only lost 1. Minnesota has eclipsed all of their wins from last year already. They're 9-1. They won last night. Illinois has improved. And so the bottom of the league getting a little bit better.
Illinois healthy for the first time in about the last 4 years. John Gross just happy to have able bodies to go to.
You're right about that. Tracy Abrams was, out a number of times. I think Tracy Abrams must be about 30 years old now, but he's finally getting to play and playing great.
They have 2 sixth-year seniors on that roster. Tracy Abrams and Mike Thorne.
Yeah. And they got Malcolm Hill, who's first team all-conference. So Illinois getting better.
This conference, top to bottom, it's a juggernaut. And we'll get a bad screen on Thomas Bryant. 2 straight possessions. Bryant has been picked up on fouls. That's his second. Minute 35 to go here in this first half. Tom Crean not too pleased with the official on the near side. Bryant's going to hang in there, even with those 2 fouls.
I don't know. I'd get him out if I was you. If I was Tom Crean.
Here he comes.
Especially since they're on the defensive end right now, even though the fouls were on the offensive end, which is a little bit unusual. Enthusiasm is a big, big plus for that Mr. Bryant. McRoberts getting a lot of minutes here in the first half. McSwain in, small team, no center in the game right now.
A lot of perimeter shooters. That's Indiana's game. There have been 0 points in the paint for either team in this game. Here's another good shot as Lasher's in double digits.
Zone defense, 2-3 variety. They match up. No center in the game, shooters in the game right now. Lots of them for Indiana.
Under a minute to play here at Assembly Hall. State Farm halftime report coming up once we get to halftime, as the ball is going to stay with HBU as the ball tipped out of bounds off of Indiana. Morgan going to check in, and Johnson for the last couple of possessions.
Blackman has been off to the right on his shots coming. Watkins is there, and Tony Carr is starting, and Lamar Stevens. Those 3 are doing wonderful, wonderful things right now. And those other teams right now, big, big improvement.
Rutgers and Minnesota, more wins than they had all of last year already. Another fast break for Indiana, and they couldn't convert on it. A rare turnover in this game, and that you can't really say that a lot about this Indiana team. As young as they are, they turn it over, but they haven't done so against HBU thus far.
Well, that was a blown, easy play. I mean, Robert Johnson just was going a little too fast on that.
Teachable moments every single time up and down the floor for Tom Crean. They might have a 15-point lead at the moment, but he's going to point out a couple of plays where, hey, moving forward, this is how we can get better.
No doubt about it. Strive for excellence.
5 on the shot clock. Lasher had it ripped away. Final possession for Indiana. Trying to beat the shot clock. Morgan, no. And that will be the answer.
Board.
Ready to play here in the second half, and Indiana trying to keep that great pace alive against HBU. Colter Lasher had a good first half for the Huskies. Had 9 points. Good drive. Newkirk up and under. Josh Newkirk quiet in that first half. He had 5 points, most of that from the free throw line. He's on open lane and was not shy. Good backdoor pass, and Chukwu Jeku couldn't finish it. Wide open 3. Morgan finally missed. Indiana with another opportunity. That's his first miss in 3 games. Coming back, 3 short. Morgan misses again, but it was fouled. Before Morgan shoots free throws, this is our country mark on the mark, and it's all about the backcourt for Indiana, James Blackman and Robert Johnson.
9 points for James in the first half, 7 for Robert Johnson in the first half, and 4 boards. So those two doing what they normally do, which is play very, very well.
Blackman, again, 3 threes in that first half, as Morgan knocks down the first free throw. Again, notable that Juwan Morgan missed a shot.
Yeah,
that just doesn't happen.
I mean, that should be in the history books, right? Third game where he hasn't And that one you said he missed, but it doesn't count when you're fouled, right? So he's going to the free throw line where he doesn't miss much from there either. SIU Edwardsville 8 for 8. Southeast Missouri 4 for 4, and tonight 2 for 3.
And he missed a very rare free throw miss by Juwan Morgan. Up ahead, there's a 3. Cantwell didn't miss that time. Lisa Cantwell, and a foul on the drive. Johnson fouled early. HBU got into the bonus early on in that first half. And already a couple of personals in this second half. Newkirk finds the open man, Johnson. A little modified zone here from HBU, out of bounds, and it's going to the Huskies.
Yeah, and you know, they've switched back and forth a couple of times, man and zone. They want to go man most of the time, but with Ibarra in there, I mean, he can't chase people away from the ball, so they like to go zone. But Indiana shoots so well from the perimeter, so they've got a dilemma. Really nice look inside from Bonds to Ibarra, and he couldn't finish it. Ibarra didn't play very much in that first half with foul trouble. Johnson, wide open 3. The 3 in transition is a gigantic weapon for Indiana. And they have the green light, and when they come down on there and miss, you got Bryant running from rim to tap it in. It's a devastating punch of offense for them. Johnson in double figures. Ibarra fouled, and a chance for a 3-point play for the Huskies. Bryant rebounds. He pushes. The nice look, 1 bounce and in. So they go all the way from the basket to the 3-point line. 3 guys touch the ball. They get a clean, wide open Jay. Nobody on Johnson, and he delivers. I mean, that is a staple on offense here for Tom Crean. No doubt about it. Lots of teams do use it, and it's a wise thing offensively, especially if you have a fast post player who can cover the miss. That's the key. You got to have the right personnel to do it. Another good look from 3, but Ibarra comes away with a miss. Up ahead, and HBU likes to run it. Here's Cantwell again, and short this time. Chukwujeku with another HBU possession. They don't run much clock. There's no doubt about that. They want to get shots off quickly as well. We talked early in the game as Ibarra going to work down low on Bryant, altered the shot. How Indiana has totally dominated the rebound category against their opponents, but HBU's hanging in there today with them. No doubt about it. Indiana, I think, second in the country. They're plus 14 on the boards. Big feed. Blackman finishes. You know, you get stuck with Blackman. You got to be up on him because he's going to shoot freely from 3-point range. So you try to stay close, but if you move your eyes away from him at any juncture, he cuts to the basket. Cantwell with a good look. Morgan rips down the rebound. Blackman smartly going to pull it back out. Smartly's the right adjective there. Johnson passed up the wide open shot and makes. Good decision, huh? You know, not the 3. He's challenged. You put the ball on the floor. You make it a little bit easier shot. He's played a lot of basketball here. Tom Crean getting ready to throw some subs in there for Indiana. He's run 10 players out there today. 9 of them have scored. The only guy who hasn't, Zach McRoberts, but he's had 4 assists. Yeah, and 2 steals. So McRoberts has earned some playing time. How about Ibarra from the outside, huh? Showing a little bit of game. You know what he can do down low. He's working on Bryant down there. Wide open look, Newkirk. The 3 is ever present. What a weapon. Newkirk in double figures with 10. And right now, Indiana with 22 shots from distance of their 37 in this game. Wow. Nice hustle by Bryant, a foul, and no, they're going to travel on Newkirk. Well, the official changed his mind because he put his fist up in the air. A fist means a foul, but he's right. There was a travel before the foul. Bryant, what can he do? Block shots and pass. The transfer from Pitt drains it. Indiana on fire from 3-point range. Deadly. To go.
Indiana up by 20 points. Imagine what it would be like if they had OG Anunoby on the floor.
Well, the thing is, OG Anunoby brings them front court scoring. Right now, 42 of the points are from guards. And so as a result of that, missing him in a Big Ten game would be not advisable.
Ibarra knocking Davis into the basket support and into one of our camera people. And Davis slow to get up a bit. Looks like he's going to be okay. That was a hard foul by Ibarra, but a clean one.
2 fouls like this have happened in the game on breakaway. As long as you go after the ball and you hit the player, there's not going to be an intentional foul or a flagrant foul called on a play like that. And Ibarra was going after the ball.
Just good hustle on both ends. And Davis trying to come away with a couple of points here from the free throw line. Short on the first.
He has been a good free throw shooter this year, 73%. In the win against Kansas, he made 2 key free throws in the overtime period to help them win that game. And that, of course, was his first game as a Hoosier, being a freshman. Great backup to Bryant.
The freshmen have been such keys for Indiana coming off the bench. The way that Tom Crean runs this offense, it's almost like a hockey game where he has line changes, where you give your best for 4 minutes, come on out, and then you get your next line in there.
Yeah, and Curtis Jones is in there right now, the other freshman.
There's a three. Colter Lasher, a little long on that one. Braxton Bonds lost the handle up ahead. Here comes Indiana. Blackman!
Credit Roberts. He's the one that got on the floor and got the steal, and Davis made the pass. 17,222 here. They lost 200 seats when they redid it. But I'll tell you what, the Simon Scott renovation has been a huge plus.
Unbelievable what it has done to this arena. Not that it needed it all that much. Blackman got the loose ball and comes away with more points. But a brand new video board, 28 cameras for our 3D replays, extra seats, concession updates, $40 million. Fans get the reward on plays like this.
This was 3 players doing what they need to do. Blackman gets the finish. Nice dunk right here. Emphatic end to a very good sentence that was structured by McRoberts and Davis as well.
McRoberts coming off the floor and 17,000 plus giving him a standing ovation because of his hustle. Guys have scored a point today.
They appreciate hoops here.
It's the little things they absolutely adore as well, as Johnson was fouled on the drive.
I think he stepped out of bounds, actually.
They did, you're right.
Robert, you should know this court better than anybody. You've got the most starts of anybody on this team. That black line over there, that's out of bounds.
This team only features one senior on it, Colin Hartman, a guy who's rehabbing a knee injury at the moment.
Starter last year, played a lot of good minutes.
Cantwell had it knocked out of his hands by Blackman. It's going to stay with HBU.
Cantwell's had a tough night. I mean, he's a 3-point shooter, and tell you what, when Asa gets it going, he can knock it in, but he's been defended by all of the guards on this team very, very well. He's inbounding right here.
Just 1 out of 8 from the floor, 1 for 7 from beyond the arc.
Yep, they've been challenged.
Cantwell had 12 points against Marquette a couple of weeks ago. 3 to shoot. Bonds, what a drive.
Oh, that was nice, huh? I thought 2 guys were going to block that.
Bonds having a career day today. Tough pass, tipped away. Lasher going the other way. Lasher finishes. Timeout. Tom Crean and the Hoosiers. HBU showing some hustle here. Get it.
At the other end, Blackman should take him to lunch every day.
Thomas Bryant at 6'10", 255. He's going to run up a pretty hefty bill, I think. And he should. He's earned it.
No doubt about it.
Davis earning some good minutes, but he walked there. Ibarra playing some good defense on Deron Davis.
Well, Davis is a novice, but he does some very, very good things. And if he hangs around Thomas Bryant and learns how to play a little bit more, that's going to be a very good combination in the paint in the Big Ten.
Bryant's got 10 rebounds in this game already, and a foul on the other end. He'll pick up Davis, and that's his 4th, so Bryant's going to have to come back into the ball game. 4 fouls at the 13-minute mark here in the second half.
Yeah, and that was a silly one. I mean, he had Ibarra pushed off of the lane. All he had to do was slide behind him. He did his work early, which was good, and then sort of fell out of place at the end of it.
He's the only player that's in foul trouble for Indiana. Nobody else with more than 2. Good defense, but a reach in by McSwain.
So if you think about foul trouble at the post position with Bryant and Davis, when Anunoby is back, they can go small, and Anunoby and Juwan Morgan can be in the game at the same time at the 4 and 5, and they can be just fine against most teams.
Get Colin Hartman back as well, gives you a little bit of length too.
Indeed.
Offensive foul. They get Chukwujeku on a bad screen. Cantwell had an open look, but it was because of the poor foul, and Chukwujeku, it's his 4th personal.
He's a ball of energy, I'll tell you that. This kid has done it. He started off very well, 4 points early in the game, and he is an undersized forward at only 6'3", but good heart.
Averaging 9 points a game. Chukwujeku on the bench with 4 fouls.
2-3 zone.
Morgan, free throw line extended. Tough shot! Wow!
You are right about that, Jeff. Tough is right. Holy cow. Watch him be patient. The ball comes to the high post. He looks low to see if anything's there. Nothing. Drive left, take the hit, and use the glass. Oh, that's a thing of beauty, my friend. Very nicely done.
I'm not a big math guy, but geometry always gave me trouble. That's a tough angle.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
with
man.
the right hand.
Yeah, going to left with his right hand, using the glass. If he didn't use the glass, that would have been a miss. Oof. He's a good player, isn't he?
He is fun to watch, no doubt about it.
Doesn't get all the pub the other guys on this team get. There's a lot of them. But I'll tell you what, he's an important one.
Tough screen inside. McSwain comes away with a steal. Newkirk pushing. Blackman doubled. Someone's open. McSwain with a left hand.
Good pass and finish. Blackman to McSwain. I tell you, when McSwain gets in, he's got some energy. He made the steal at the other end on a backdoor play, and there he runs the floor and gets open. He wants to play more.
Stat to follow the assist of field goals. Bonds, tough runner that time. 13 assists on 20 makes. Blackman doesn't need an assist there. Wide open.
The defense has to retreat, right? You have to retreat. You can't give the layup.
Only top 5 team or top 10 team in action. A lot of teams going today. Duke in action against UNLV.
How about Michigan at UCLA?
UCLA with a big win last weekend against Kentucky.
Biggest of the year so far. Villanova beats Notre Dame. They're #1, and they should be. Kansas and Nebraska, and Kansas takes that. UCLA, Michigan, that's going to be a very, very interesting game. I mean, Lonzo Ball and TJ Leaf, 2 freshmen that are spectacular. And Derek Walton is going to have his hands full with ball. But I'll tell you what, if they can make some threes, Michigan be in it.
Zach Irvin off to a good start for the Wolverines. Yep. You know, a John Beilein team, they can shoot it. Alex Fountain had a decent look. And they'll get a foul underneath on Blackman.
Blackman went over the top right there. He was trying to help out. The guards rebound for Indiana. There's no doubt about that, especially at the defensive end. The 3 starting guards on this team, and they start 3 guards. There's Robert Johnson and Blackman, 2 of them, and Newkirk, the other. They average nearly 15 rebounds per game between the 3 guys, and he gets 7. So those 3 players are physical guards, and they get after it on both ends on the boards.
At halftime, these 2 teams were nearly even in the rebound department. Indiana's starting to pull away a little bit. +8 at the moment. There will be a foul before the shot, and they'll get Newkirk. Beg your pardon, they won't. They'll pick up Bryant.
I think Bryant grabbed Ibarra after Ibarra set the screen as he was rolling. That's kind of a five and dimer right there.
Ibarra's going to go to the line as HBU is already in the bonus. Ibarra hits the first. You ever try and shoot free throws, by the way, with that stuff behind you? I don't know if I could ever do it, but there's the foul.
Yeah. There's some physicality there, but I don't know. You know, shooting a free throw with this background against you right there, this could make you dizzy.
I'm dizzy just looking at it. I don't know what half that stuff means. Do you?
No. Okay. I think your picture is up there, though.
Oh, it might be. That'd be really impressive if it was. Well, Indiana getting back to their offensive flow. Morgan left alone.
Fake the handoff and dunk. Nobody home on the help side either.
Not unless you want to be a part of a poster.
That's going to look good on Mark Cuban's 360 degree that we've been showing.
Oh man, you just teased that perfectly. I can't wait to see a 3D replay and see it in real time.
Watch the fake handoff. Keeps his dribble on the fake handoff, goes all the way. That was the easiest basket so far in this game.
High percentage.
Indeed. And he's a high percentage guy, isn't he? He's missed one shot in his last 3 games.
And that was a 3 earlier today. Snapped a streak of 14 consecutive makes.
So now he's 15 out of 16, right? Unbelievable.
Fans, nobody is left. Per usual here in Indiana.
Yep, sell out every game.
10 minutes to go. Here goes Morgan going baseline. He was fouled on the drive by Cody Stetler. It's a pretty big drop-off when Ibarra heads to the bench. You just don't have a lot of size to contend with. And Morgan is rather undersized when you're talking about guys like Davis and Bryant. He's still a load to deal with.
I think in the Southland Conference, that young man is going to have a good year. As you mentioned it before so accurately, he was playing great, and then he missed the last 11 games last year. They were 8-0 when he went down in the conference. So I think he is going to be a very important player for this team and a good one. 6'11", 250. I think he's a little more than 250.
Freshman weight.
Yeah, right.
He's added a couple of pounds, but the good pounds.
How about Morgan, Mr. Versatility? Scores outside, scores inside, guards the perimeter, guards the post, doesn't make mistakes.
He's a great all-around player and just a sophomore.
Limited minutes last year because of Hartman and Bielefeld. Now, big.
Tough turnaround. What a pure stroke from Colter Lasher. Leading HBU with 13 points.
I like the weave and the dribble handoff.
McSwain wide open. Robert Johnson. A short McSwain. Big rebound. Got it.
Freddie, welcome to Hoosier Land. The JC. His best game. Watch the ups by McSwain on this shot. Anybody can get this ball right now. He wants it more. Beautiful. He's a hustle play guy. Look at the width of his shoulders and the strength as he fades away. Freddie McSwain, he wants to contribute. Undersized as far as height for a power forward, but he's a broad shoulder type player. Thick legs.
Looks like a guy who played a lot of football, and he did before he concentrated on basketball his junior year of high school. There's a foul underneath. I believe they'll pick up Fountain on the personal.
Well, what happened here is it was a one-shot foul because he made the basket, and then the foul on the block out, they got too aggressive on Robert Johnson. He'll get to take a one-on-one. So this could be 2, 3, 5 points right here without the clock moving.
It's a tough swing if you're HBU.
How about that? 5 points with no tick off the clock.
Be hard pressed to think of another time that that's happened.
Well, Coach Cottrell is trying to think of that right now, I think.
Well, he's been in the driver's seat at HBU a long time. Again, 26th year. He's also an AD at the university when they were going through their transition from NAIA to Division I.
That is not an easy thing to do.
That's a deep three. Cantwell still cold, but that was a real deep three. Alley-oop! Wow! Thomas Bryant in air acrobatics.
I think he shot that backwards, didn't he?
Uh-huh. Turned his body. Swatted away by McSwain and Bryant. Can you give half blocks?
They don't give half blocks, but I think they should give one to each guy. Take a look at this. Jones has his eyes up, and because of that, he sees Bryant. Bryant was almost underneath the basket, almost out of bounds, and he does it backwards.
It's
Body
impressive.
control, huh?
That's so impressive from a guy that size. Lasher fouled. It was before the shot, but he's going to be shooting free throws. Indiana with their 8th team foul. It's about the only thing that McRoberts has done wrong today, commit a foul. He's been so good in every other facet.
All the intangibles, right? Assists, steals, floor burns, passes. He gives them something good.
We talked about Devontae Green and his family lineage, his brother Danny. Zach McRoberts, brother Josh, great Duke player.
Miami Heat. A couple of other teams. Probably going to grow.
Just a freshman. He'll grow into that body. As will Curtis Jones. Running some offense, running some clock. Robert Johnson got fouled on the way up by Colin Just. Limited minutes for Just this year, but with the foul trouble for HBU thrust into action. A couple of shots for Robert Johnson. And Tom Crean said it earlier this week that this is a big week for Robert to make another step in his development. Again, we talked about it with no Yogi Ferrell next to him. Robert Johnson and Blackman have to be those two guys in the backcourt.
Both juniors, eligibility-wise, 163, 164. Both combo guards. Both, because they push the ball so quickly, a lot of times whoever gets the rebound pushes it on the break. And both of them rebound well, so a very lethal combination. Robert Johnson, I think, is the best perimeter defender on this team. He can guard whoever the best player is on the other team, either as a going into the game or during the game. You switch him on to somebody who is hot at that particular moment, he's capable of shutting guys off.
Well, and everybody in the Big Ten has one guard that you got to shut down. You know, you look at a Bronson Koenig of Wisconsin. You better believe Robert Johnson's going to be on him. Up ahead to Bryant. Good ball fake by Green.
Everything going down.
Indiana at 83 points, and they're on their way if they continue at this pace to eclipse the 100-point mark.
Up 15 at halftime.
And they've kept the pedal to the metal, and you know Tom Crean wanted to see that. 5 to shoot, active hands. There's Jones. Curtis Jones up to 8 points in the game.
103 against Kansas, 100 against UMass Lowell. And they haven't broken 100, so 2 games so far this season.
15 points away from the century mark at this point. Chukwujeku with some moves. That's a good play by the senior.
He's got a pull-up game, doesn't he? I mean, his baskets in the first half were like that also. Drive hard and pull up.
Blackman answers, didn't get the roll. And just comes away with a rebound. Bryant was in the mix though. Chukwujeku up and under, wow! 2 straight possessions for reveal. No rest for the weary. Back come the Hoosiers, but a miss that time by Green. The pace that they both want to play. HBU just kind of standing for the first time in this game on this offensive possession. Chukwujeku again. He's trying to make it 3 in a row. Freshman on display today for Indiana.
Jones, the quick hands, the acceleration, and the finish. Jones isn't tired. He can run all day. By one of the best shooters in the country, Mr. Blackman.
Our 3D replay technology. One of 28 360-degree cameras positioned within the newly renovated Assembly Hall here in Bloomington.
And the first time that it has been used, we've got a historic day today.
I should have
dressed
wore better.
Yeah, right.
Those sweatpants just don't travel when we're using all this great technology. Well, Indiana going away with this one. Good shot by Green. Devontae hits the 3.
Looked like his brother on that one. That was NBA level 3 right there. So you got your 2 freshman guards in there right now. Jones and Green, number 0, number 11, shooting the lights out.
These are some big minutes for these freshmen as we inch towards Big Ten play. A foul on the drive.
I think it's Davis.
Well, they'll give it on Jawan Morgan, his first. These are the freshmen that have been coming off the bench for Tom Crean, and
yeah, and look at Jones. You know, he's got 15 against Kansas to help them win. Green's doing great, and Davis giving Bryant deserved rest when he's in there. Now we have Bryant and Davis in the game at the same time. Now this is extremely unusual.
Well, imagine Big Ten play when they match up against in-state rival Purdue with all that size.
With Haas and Swanigan, you're right. That's a good point.
Tom Crean maybe wants to take a look and see how this big lineup plays.
Well, Bryant likes to stay away from the basket and handle the ball. Look at him out here at 6'10", handling it like a point guard.
Good mismatch, too, with Weber. Now he's down low on Just. Swing it out. What good ball movement and a foul underneath. And they'll get Thomas Bryant going over the back of Colter Lasher. But that was a clinic in ball movement by the Hoosiers.
I like the Davis pass, too. You know, a young freshman like that, you know, he usually passes back out or to the top of the key, but to throw cross court like he did showed good vision. And that's what you want, especially when you're double teamed in the post.
They end up getting Lasher on the personal, not Bryant. It's the other way around, and Bryant knocks down the free throw. Again, Bryant, first possession of this ball game, got a hip check. And he's kind of been hobbling a little bit. You can tell that he's favoring it just a touch, but playing through it. He's played quality minutes, great defense all afternoon and evening.
No doubt about it. Very interesting experiment. The first possession was a huge success with the 2 bigs in at the same time.
2 freshman guards mixed in with Newkirk, the transfer. Talk about going up against the trees. Chukwujeku.
He has no fear, does he?
No, he does not. He's in double digits.
Puts his head down and goes.
He's had a really nice second half, too, playing with foul trouble. Newkirk. Davis able to...
Yeah, he's got some vision, doesn't he?
He really does. Bryant underneath, and he was fouled by Just. Davis even away from the hoop able to find some open offensive players. And he's just a freshman. You love where he's at right now after just 8 games.
Yeah, the only problem that obviously he's going to develop, but one of the problems he fouls too much. And the reason he plays his man well until the ball's coming, and then he overdoes things sometimes. But we've seen that in this game. Offensively, I mean, he gets off balance sometimes when he goes up in the air. He lands with his feet too close together. But other than that, I mean, he shows very, very good vision and good patience as well.
Conversely, on that side, for Thomas Bryant last year coming in as a freshman, he had some growing pains defensively too at the beginning of the year.
Absolutely. All big men do. Bryant poked somebody in the face right there, inadvertently. You know, when I think about big guys in the league, and you mentioned Haas at Purdue, but Ethan Happ at Wisconsin. I mean, last year this guy's a starting center on a team, and he leads the Big Ten in steals. And you know, he's up there in that category again this year. So he, along with Nigel Johnson, a very formidable 5 and 4 man combination.
Grant Galon on the floor for the first time as Davis heads to the bench. As does Newkirk.
Crown Point, Indiana. Freshman.
Galon, 6'5", 195.
Guaranteed he can shoot threes.
Oh.
Guaranteed.
Out of Crown Point, if you don't shoot threes, you're not allowed out of the city limits.
We came to practice today, and I was watching the managers. They can shoot threes.
I tell you, some of the Big Ten manager games are as entertaining as you'll ever see. Because those guys could be playing on Division II or Division III teams, some Division I teams. Tough drive. And Galen turned it over. He had a shot open too. Chukwujeku gave it up, and Lasher finishes.
They like to push it, don't they? Huskies are a fast break team, and of course that can be spell disaster when you play against Indiana, who's a fast-paced team but much higher level. But in their league, in the Southland Conference, teams better get back quickly against these guys because they can turn turnovers and rebounds into easy twos.
Look at McSwain again on the offensive glass. Career day for McSwain. He's got 8 points. And Green with a steal. 4-on-1, and Green threw it away, up ahead. Weber lays it up and in. Heard the crowd get a little excited. Tim Priller, junior, about ready to check in for the Hoosiers.
Green is breathing heavily. He just went by here. He doesn't get this many minutes normally in a game.
Good underneath. And a foul and a chance for a 3-point play for Galen.
Bryant, the pass, the back door. Galen with the 2. You got to have this at every game.
And it is so cool. Maybe Mark Cuban can fund it in every Big Ten school. Certainly getting close. And now Galen pulls it back. Didn't have the numbers he wanted. Tim Priller, as we talked about, he's on the floor for Indiana.
At the high post.
Tom Crean emptying the bench. Get some good minutes for these reserves who work so hard and don't necessarily get the time on the floor. McSwain, no. Priller offensive rebound. 2 minutes to play. Priller! There he is! He's not smiling right now, but you know he's beaming on the inside.
He's playing, man.
Fountain got it rejected by the rim underneath. No, Priller couldn't get in there. Body's on the floor. Out of bounds going to Indiana.
Minute and 34. 98 points on the part of the Hoosiers. All the starters are on the sideline.
You see our Duluth trading hardest working player today, James Blackman, 18 points, 3 rebounds. Great game today, but every Hoosier's having a great game today.
Freshman guards in the game running the show. Jones and Green. Priller, the crowd favorite at the high post.
There he goes again, he's got 4.
And they got 100.
No better guy to get you over the century mark than Tim Priller. 3rd time this year the Hoosiers over 100. Colin Just down low against Priller. Tough shot, and Just got the roll.
Nice pump fake, huh? Very good.
Just, who has never played more than 6 minutes this year. Foul trouble all day for HBU bigs. Trying to deal with Bryant and Davis. There's a 3. And another one for Curtis Jones.
This guy can shoot. He might be the best shooter on this team.
He's impressive. There's a deep 3 by Weber off the heel. Jones in double figures, one of 5 Hoosiers. Rainbow shot, no, by Will Gates Jr. And the shot clock is off. Indiana is going to hold on here and come away with a big-time victory. And they got contributions from everybody today, Bob.
They did indeed, especially at the offensive end. They are impossible to guard when they get cooking. 23 in a row in this building. 17,222, nobody left.